Hello again, folks. I figured since we're here and we have cell phone connection, I would give a little tour of the Disney Wonder. So this is the Buena Vista Theater. They show lots of Disney movies here, and we're going to get to see Captain America Civil War before it comes out. So that's going to be fun. Today it's showing Zootopia. We've been abstaining from Disney movies for the last couple of months because we knew we'd watch them all on board. This is the 5th deck. And this is where our cabin is for the trip. So we are right next to the movie theater. We're just going to keep bouncing back and forth the whole time. As you might expect, that's Disney music on the hallway monitors. Hello, hello, Chai Smitty. We're just walking around the Disney Wonder for fun, since it's rare that you get cell signal on a cruise ship. Now, this is the atrium. This is where you board the boat and where a bunch of the shows happen. This chandelier thing, they told us it is Chihuly, but it's Chihuly plastic, because having a bunch of glass in the middle of a cruise ship turns out to be not a great idea. So that may be one of the few Chihuly plastic sculptures there. And this is probably going to get ripped out in a few months. The ship is going to dry dock in September. We've got some generic jams going on there. Wandering troubadour about to assault people, no doubt, with the song. Let's keep going. Keep going. Let's go up, 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 up. Up all the stairs. So if you have any questions about the boat, the Disney Wonder, or the ridiculousness that just happened with the virus outbreak and all that stuff, I can take those while we're making the journey upstairs. These are the elevators, and there's a nice little alcove here with the giant painting of Ariel and stuff that almost no one sees unless they're in the elevators, both of which are somewhere else. So that's the sort of elevator atrium. Lots of wheelchairs ready for wheelchair racing, I assume. So keep going up. Now all the staircases have fun art from various Disney things. Like this one is a series of sketches one film or another. It says Mickey's Surprise Party 1939, so that's probably what it's from. I agree with you, Aridin. They are interesting to check out. It's a lot of corners. And on this cruise, we're going to have a lot of time to find the corners we've never seen before. 14 days is a long time. And yes, Aridin, as you might have guessed, Mainframe will not be on this week's episode, but she's also unconscious, so the team members of MFAC will have to go and find a way to rescue her. But you get a little bit of a spoiler seeing this. So now we're on the 9th deck, and we're midship right now, and this is where it's going to get real loud. So this here is actually the kids' pool, but you can see that there's no pool right now. They've decked over it because they're going to have a party here in about 10 minutes, or maybe it just finished. It looks like maybe they just finished. They have a sail away party, the characters come out, there's a bunch of confetti and stuff. And now we've transitioned into Cove, which is where adults live. My husband and I don't have any kids, and when people ask, what do you do on a Disney cruise? Well, we spend a lot of time in the adult pool area, which is here. Password option. So there's 2 hot tubs, and there's a pool. The pool is fun. If you've never been on a cruise ship, it's kind of fun to watch the physics of sailing from inside the pool, because the boat itself doesn't stay level ever. And the only place you can really tell if it's not a rough day is on the pool. The water kind of sloshes to one side or the other. And so the cruise ship pools often have a weird design, like there's the middle center part, and then the 2 sides are basically to catch the extra sloshy water when it happens. So here's the other side of Miami, which is a much better skyline than what we had before. Again, it's a beautiful day in Miami. Not raining, which is great. Although I understand that's not a thing they typically worry about here. So that's just us bringing our Seattle damage. So as I mentioned on the last broadcast, or I guess I mentioned earlier this one, this is the second oldest Disney cruise ship, but it's also the one that has not been refurbished yet. So it's kind of still got the original design. And the reason for that is because this is the only boat left in the Disney fleet that can go through the Panama Canal, which is what we're doing on this trip. The Alaska cruises are really popular for Disney, and so they decided they would keep one of the cruises ships in its original state so that they could continue to go do those crossings, those Alaska crossings. Yes, watching the pools can be fun. And the other thing, I'm getting off on a side note, but Aridin, the other thing that we had a lot of fun with was in Alaska, it's cold, right? It's like 50 or 40 degrees even in the summertime. And so like running outside right after we would stop docking and getting in the pool, it's like being in a music video because there's just steam coming up from the pool and you're watching snow-capped mountains pass. So we very much enjoyed that dynamic at the Alaska cruises. But as I was saying, when Disney expands these boats like they did with the Magic, they actually make them heavier. And they need to add something called a ducktail to the back of it to give it the extra buoyancy to compensate for the heavy new stuff like the water slides that they built for adults. And once they add that tail, it's too long to go through the original Panama Canal. So the other three boats in the fleet are stuck on the Atlantic side until the new Panama Canal is finished. And it is not finished. It takes a long time and there were delays. So this boat's refurb was delayed until that canal opens. I don't know if it's quite open yet, but it's opening this year, and so assuming that's happening on time, this boat will go into dry dock to get those upgrades and make it heavier and fancier later this year. So this is the rest of the deck. Other facts, only one of those smokestacks is operational, and when they do the dry dock, they will probably take the non-operational one and put a water slide in it. That's what they did on the Magic. That's a crazy water slide. It just kind of drops you straight down 90 degrees. That scared me the first time we did it. And the other thing that's really cool that will happen later in the cruise is you can see between these two smokestacks there is a kind of a zip. And during the Pirate Night event, Pirate Mickey comes out and rappels and zip lines down to the main stage, presumably to rescue other characters. But that's a pretty great reveal in the middle of the night with like they play Holding Out for a Hero and there's like spotlights. And then when he makes it down to the stage, they blow fireworks off. So that's a lot of fun, especially if you've not seen it before. It's a fun little thing. They do fireworks on Disney cruises, which not all cruise lines have managed to figure out how to do yet. Yeah, so before we leave, if anybody has any questions, let me know. But this is a view of what we saw before. It's kind of the calm before the storm right now. All the kids were distracted with the party. Now they've run downstairs. Dinner is starting for the first round of folks in a few minutes. And yeah, so as far as I can tell, the ship is not infected with plague. We will have to see whether or not all of those measures paid off. So now I'm walking to the back of the ship. Thank you, Aridin, very much. We are hoping so too. Was not the best start, to be perfectly honest, but we're hoping for the best. And so the other thing I kind of tweeted about was there's this kid who has this stuffed shark, and we keep running into him all day. So I'd like to think that Sharky is protecting us. Dan told me that I should be careful of what powers I make him think he has when I thanked him for summoning Sharky for us. Can't see my viewers list, but if any of you don't know who the hell Sharky is, that is a character on our show Wednesday nights, Corporate Sins on Twitch. My character likes quite a lot. It's this giant shark spirit. So to complete our tour, let's walk around the aft of the boat, which is the back of the boat. And a very easy way to remember that is that aft sounds like ass. So there, now you know one boat term. And then of course forward is fairly self-explanatory in English anyway. I still don't get port and starboard right. I had a thing and now I've forgotten it. It might be port is left because port is 4 letters, but oh, they're making an announcement. You guys might get to hear the ship horns as we take off. So they play once When You Wish Upon a Star on the smokestacks. It's kind of our thing. So if you could get that on the broadcast, that would be cool. Let's see.
Basically, all the cruise ships have left. There's just one turned around and is on our port side and is passing us. We are getting ready, but we still need a few minutes, and we have now assigned a slot which is 7 p.m.
Oh, no, they're not going to play the boat sound at 6 because now we're leaving at 7.
There's some inbound ships, container ships, cargo ships that will come once the carnival ship next to us is on the outside. So we have to wait till
Can't tell exactly what that blipping is in the carnival ship. It could be a roller coaster or it could be some type of
plane. The good news is that our trip to Cozumel, we only need to do about 16, 17 knots. So it will be...
So what he's saying, 16, 17 knots, is, you know, we'll be going like the equivalent of driving 70 or 80 on the highway. Not so much that people will get sick, but maybe a little faster than they were intending. So back to the ass of the boat. Here we are in the back. And this here there you go. Got the horns. Those are nice. Except if you're sitting right next to them and they haven't warned you, then those are pretty frightening the first time. But you get a little misty once you've been on a couple of these things and you hear those. This, you can't really see inside. This is the adult restaurant there. It's called Palo.
You don't want to play in that game?
It's adults only. It is a nice safe haven. And here we are. So now we're in the ass of the boat, and we can see the ass of another boat here. I think that usually we only play that sound when we're leaving, but I think we were showing off to the carnival because the carnival does not have a fun horn that plays music. It just kind of goes on its way. All right. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and good to see you, Aaron, and good to see you. Who else is on right now? Steven and Jared. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this was interesting for you. A little look at the boat. And if not, well, at the very least my mom will watch the recap and she will be happy to see everything. But it's good to see you guys and have, again, a wonderful Sunday.